Welcome to the bigger picture. You might be wondering, what the hell is the bigger picture? Well, I found it. I fucking found it. Mally, what the hell are you talking about? Listen, I fucking found it, okay? I found the reason for all of this, okay? I found the reason to just fucking live in general. I found it. You might be talking about, what are you talking about? Nobody has this problem. Listen, I found the reason, my motivation for life itself and to keep going. I found it. So these last few months, as you guys may know, I've been streaming a shit ton and not really been posting a whole lot on YouTube, which, my bad, I guess, it's just I'm kind of a busy guy nowadays, with my streaming career and all that. But one thing I have not been able to do is rationalize where I'm going and why I'm doing this. My whole life, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, but it wasn't until 2020, the lockdown, where I was like, I want to be a streamer too. But I didn't know what I wanted to do as a streamer, I've just been streaming, but I never really had a rationale for it. But that rationale is no longer out of my head. I found that rationale to keep going. I found the reason to do all this shit, I found why I wanted to do it. And I knew it the whole time. I just never said it out loud, But I have it now. I have it. And let me tell you why. So this all began when I was super duper young, right? And I was, a funny kid, I guess you could say. I was a little funny trickster back in my day. And my mom said, you should be a comedian one day, And I was like, I don't know, comedian just doesn't sound like my kind of thing. I've always wanted to make people laugh. I've always enjoyed making people laugh. And, I could say I was the class clown or whatever the fuck you want to say. I enjoyed making other people laugh. But do I want to be a comedian? No. I've never wanted to be a comedian. I've never wanted to be on stage for a live audience doing sets of whatever jokes I have. That's just not really been appealing to me ever. And from a young age, I've really loved to just make videos, on YouTube that were kind of funny, or short clips on TikTok or whatever the fuck, And so YouTube videos and streaming is kind of more my format, like a live entertainment kind of jokes on the fly type of deal. But in spite of me enjoying all of that, I never really had a reason, I just never knew why I liked it so much, but, I just liked it. And I found out why I enjoyed doing all of this so much. I never wanted to be a comedian, but I've always wanted to be someone who entertained people. And so I think I'm more of an entertainer rather than a comedian. And what other way to be entertaining than to put out videos and live stream you just being funny? I think that's a way better format for me that I like rather than being on a stage, But I've been having problems with this, I've been having problems with YouTube ideas, just the motivation to keep going, and streaming and the motivation to keep going. I've been having problems with all that. As you guys know, I've released a few videos talking about it, but this is the big one right here. You see, I base my worth in streaming based on how much money I'm making, okay? It's only until recently that I realized that is not at all how, you're supposed to go about this shit, You're not supposed to go about it in the money-making aspect, Because if you're an entertainer, most entertainers are not rich by any means when they first start, you know what I mean? So why should I be the exception? Why should I value myself based on how much money I make? And that's when it hit me, I thought I wasn't successful because I wasn't making all this money, but it wasn't until a few streams ago where I realized I kind of am doing exactly what I set out to do, and I'm succeeding super well. And you might be like, how are you succeeding? You live in your parents' basement. What the fuck are you talking about? But I'm entertaining people. People watch my streams and they say they like it and they say it's fun. And when they say that, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nice. But I didn't realize it until now. I'm entertaining them, I am giving them what they want. They want to watch me because they're entertained by me. It's like, I don't know how I didn't put it together until now, but that's exactly what I set out to do this whole time, was to entertain people, And I'm entertaining these people, and when I think of myself, I don't think as a successful man. I think, oh, I'm a bum, I'm not making any money from this. It's all useless. But there are so many people who watch me because I'm entertaining. And so I set out to be an entertainer. I didn't set out to be a millionaire, you know what I mean? So I'm succeeding in entertaining people. So I am living my dream right now. I am entertaining people. I'm providing entertainment, and I can't be happier about it now. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy it so much. I just don't understand, you know what I mean? It's so, I don't know how I didn't get it before, but I got it now. You know, like these people, my viewers, you know, you guys watch me to be entertained, and I'm so thankful, you know, because you guys are helping me fulfill my dream. I've always wanted to be, you know, the guy people go to laugh, you know, and I love that. And this isn't typically one of my normal videos. I'm just kind of making this as like a pillar in my life, you know. I'm going to use my YouTube channel as more of like a way to document everything that's going on. And, you know, this is the moment where I've realized I'm doing it. You know, it's so fucking weird to say, but I'm doing it. I'm doing what I said I was going to do. What the fuck? You know, it's so weird. It's so weird to just think like this whole time I've been undermining myself, but in reality, I've been doing the exact thing I've dreamed of my entire life, you know? People watch me, they entertain me, they follow me. You know, it's fucking crazy how I never thought of this until now. And despite of everything, people are always going to talk about the money part of this, but that's not what I set out to do. I didn't set out to make money, I set out to make people laugh. And I did it. I'm doing it. So, I'm here to stay, guys.